Right. Oh, let me catch my breath. Oh, I wasn't going to do one today, but I know quite a lot of people, well, I say a lot, but I know there's people who kind of like the daily thing. It keeps them going. People have said that after watching this, it actually gets them to go out and do their run. So I feel obliged, even if it's only for 10 minutes, just to do a little something. And if it's crap, then I can always just delete it. But anyway, so what inspired me to do one today was just about, I've just had quite a difficult run. It was very difficult and I don't really know why. I can't work it out. I'm not sure. It could be multifactorial, couldn't it? And whilst I was running, obviously you get that initial kind of, what is going on? I'm just doing 5k here. I haven't got the buggy. I'm supposed to be stepping on it, letting it go, and yet it wasn't happening. The energy just wasn't there. And so straight away I start thinking, oh right, well, what am I going to write on my map my run afterwards? Is this going to get recorded as a thumbs down? But you know what? Especially in these current times, especially when you're not actually training for a particular race, you've got to try and spin it so that every run has a thumbs up at the end. Okay, and it's not lying at all, it's just the way you look at it. So the way I plant it is this way. Yeah, compared to my last 5k, kind of once a week, well not once a week, once every couple of weeks, I've decided to go for it and try to do a PB and a 5k. But obviously conditions aren't always there, and there's many factors. I mean, today my run was at 5 o'clock. I'd had a long day of online consultations and classes, and it's a little bit stressful. There were some people running into some problems and I had to sort some stuff out. It's all very computer based and does my brain in a little bit. So maybe that was on my mind. Different time of day, I'm a bit tireder. Maybe to do with my nutrition. I probably had lunch at about 1:30. So I haven't really eaten anything since then. Who knows? But the fact is, today might have been one of my best runs ever, because despite faced with a challenge I wasn't expecting, I overcame it. Makes sense? It sounds obvious, doesn't it? But who's to say that the run which goes perfectly and you get a great time, wicked, you can write down new PB. Make sense? Great, well done. But is that a better performance? Is that going to have more of a training adaptation than your run where in your head it's saying, call it off, just stop halfway, make it a 2-mile interval or something, turn it into intervals, don't keep going at this tempo, it's not working. If you overcome that and actually continue at that tempo, more or less, albeit a little bit less than what you're hoping to do, and you make it to that, in my case, 5k point, does that actually make it a more worthwhile run? Yeah, because I'm actually, the way I look at it is getting stronger a lot of the time is overcoming, just not too much, but overcoming your nervous system's kind of protective barriers, the thresholds, the nervous thresholds. You're not overcoming physical thresholds really, because your nervous thresholds are always going to get in there first to stop you. So that's the way I look at it, and that's what's on my mind. So I'm actually very happy with today's run. It wasn't a PB or anything, but the fact is, pretty much from halfway, it just was, I wasn't feeling it. Okay, but I managed to do it and I got to the end and I was a happy boy. So the moral of the story is, when you are keeping your training plans and you're trying to stay motivated, just have a think before you write something with a thumbs down. Let me take these out. God, I can actually hear myself now. Yeah, have a think before you record a run as a failure, as a little cross or whatever you do when you mark things in there. Because if you do mark a cross or an unhappy face or a thumbs down, or you put down, I don't know, success of a run out of 10, 5, you're kind of admitting defeat to yourself, and that's going to affect you now and on your next run. And maybe when you look back through your records in future, when you need a bit of kind of motivation, you've lost your mojo, and you look through that book and you see some unhappy faces, that's not going to help you, is it? So if you are keeping your own plans, or if you're a coach and you are sending out results or helping someone online and filling out their report for them, then just because they didn't achieve what they were supposed to achieve, look at other factors. Like, how difficult was it for you, and did you manage to overcome it? And if that's a yes, then that deserves an applause of itself. Does that make sense? That's pretty much all I wanted to say today, to tell you the truth. It's another beautiful hot day. Maybe the temperature has something to do with it. My heel was playing up a little bit before I started, so that was negative, just a little bit. I had a conversation yesterday in the evening where somebody who saw my heel asked, "Oh, how's it going?" Blah 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 blah, and we had a little bit of a to and fro about how it was. Actually, he's in the house. Ian, Lennane, how are you? Maybe that, sometimes talking about your symptoms and talking about, well, it's still a bit painful in the morning, but then it goes, and blah blah this, blah blah that, I didn't get a scan. Maybe that was on my mind. I had that just before I went to sleep, I think. So maybe that was dwelling on the inside subconsciously, because there was no reason for my heel to start suddenly hurting. It was literally as soon as I put my trainers on, from morning, I stepped out of bed, it was fine. And I was actually thinking, this is great. And then the minute I put my trainers on and stood up in them, same trainers as always, heels started hurting. What's that all about? So yeah, maybe it's that. Maybe it is the fault of that conversation. Who knows? Right, let's just have a little quick hello to people in the house. Who have we got? Hi Samantha. Hi Amy Spriggs. How you doing? Henning Lorenzen. That's a cool name. Henning Lorenzen. Good name. How are you? Sylvia, how are you doing? Come sta? Bella. That's about it. That's what I remember of the my piccolo sacchiotto, something like that. How you doing, Sylvia? You alright? Hope you're well. Hope you're surviving in Italy. Family are well and getting through it as much as can be concerted. Daniel, how you doing? You alright, mate? John Schneider, hello. Kath Lindsay, Demetrius, Crystal Prophet. Crystal Prophet. I've always wondered when I see your name, Crystal. Is that like really your surname, or is it kind of like a catch name? You've got to tell me. Maybe PM me. You haven't got to say it in public. Crystal Prophet. It's just an amazing name. Sarah Evans, how you doing? Nick Knight, right, mate? How are you? That's interesting, your buggy feedback. You did make me feel, again, you made me feel a little bit like low testosterone levels. I can never take things apart and oil them and grease them and put them together again. Ridiculous. It took me 2 hours yesterday just to put together a garden sofa. Ages. Bloody things. I hate it. Hamida Ben Gastim, how you doing, Hamida? Nice to see you back again. Right, I really need to go back home. So that's it. That was all. Just about recording. I'll put this on YouTube, I think. 'Cause I think it's a valuable advice, really. Don't always make the assumption that just because you didn't manage to do what you set out to do, that it was a failure. Sometimes when you overcome your body telling you to stop, it's a better result than ever. I think that makes sense anyway. What day are we today? I'm tired. I think I've had a long day at work. Just a note on that, for online consultations, I had a couple of people who, during Easter, I wasn't teaching or lecturing, so I had a lot more availability. Now I'm back in lessons now. I've had a couple of emails saying, how come your times have changed on Sports Injury Fix? Because I'm teaching during the day a lot of the times. I work around the online consultation around the hours I'm not teaching. So I think basically you'll see that Mondays, for example, it's kind of like 5 till 9. It's only in the afternoons. Tuesdays it's about 6 to 9. It's a lot of evening work now for online consultations, I'm afraid. So I apologise if you're from other parts of the world and that doesn't fit in with you. But yeah, it's just I'm not available during the other times. So it tends to get a little bit busier. So apologies for that. But weekends I'm still around normally. Yes, weekends, Saturdays and Sundays is the best time to catch me. Sunday mornings are getting a little bit busy now. Had 3 the other Sunday morning, and yeah, so if you are interested in a Sunday morning one, just go to sportsinjuryfix.com, or you'll see links to online consultation on my website, runchecklive.com. You'll see a book now button. Even on Facebook, if you click the book now button, it will take you through to the Sports Injury Fix website, where you can just have a look at availability and blah 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 and all that. So there you go if you need it. And I'm very proud of, I do enjoy online consultations a lot. It's probably easier than clinic in a sense, because your goal even more is to help somebody who really is normally at a tether. They're already stressed out with this whole isolation business, and the last thing they want to do is splash out money they're probably not earning on a consultation. So I do kind of pride myself, I'm sure a lot of other therapists out there whose names I'm seeing pride themselves on minimising the need, the expense. Like I've said on another video I did, I'm warning runners, particularly now, if you click on an online consultation button and you book one and there's no pre-form, and your money, the clock starts ticking, and it's probably like £1 a minute or something, and they're saying, so, how are you doing? What's up? Lie down, tell me about what the problem is. And your clock is ticking, and you're paying £1 a minute, whatever it is for that, then that's not a decent online consultation, okay? I've had a couple of online consultations with people who have come from that, who just went running. No, I'm sorry. Online consultation should start after the therapist in question has had time to look through a very, very extensive pre-form, which is the one I send out. I want to know all about what's wrong, how you feel about it, what your history is. I want to know all about potential contraindications. I want to know your previous history of treatments, what your goals are, what your running habits are, what your shoes you wear. I want to know all of this before I start hitting that "you're paying me now" time face-to-face consultation. So yeah, just a little bit of a rant then, because I did have a client who literally, they arrived, they didn't have any pre-form at all. It's like, hi John, what's wrong? What the fuck? Sorry, I shouldn't swear. What the hell's that all about? So anyway, if you are a therapist and you're doing that, then I apologise, but maybe you just haven't thought it through. You can't be charging people for that. And watch out as well for, thanks to Christopher Johnson, I think it was, I was in the runner's zone, just in case any therapists haven't thought about it, younger therapists. I had a therapist the other day, student therapist. If you are doing online help, or recently qualified, you've got to send out get them to sign a form digitally as well. Yeah, with things like, I understand this isn't in place of a medical examination. I understand that blah blah blah, responsibility and all that. Disclosure form, you've got to get that signed if you're doing online consultation as well. Otherwise, your insurance probably won't cover what you're doing. So watch out for that as well if you're a younger therapist and that has skipped your mind. As well as, of course, insurance coming to an end, thinking, well, I'm not in clinic, I don't need insurance anymore. Oh, yes, you do. If you're providing an online consultation and giving people advice, then you're just as responsible. And if something goes wrong, they will want a record of your notes. They will want to... The safest thing is a recording of the online consultation. And you probably did nothing wrong, but in the worst of cases, if this does go to court or something, then yeah, you just want to provide that pre-consultation form, the signed and consent form, and a copy of the online consultation. I think that makes sense, doesn't it? Just in case, because things do happen. People can have terrible things going on. It was nothing to do with you, but you were the last person who saw them. So you've got to cover yourself. Does that make sense? And righty ho, there we go. I didn't mean to speak for this long. Actually, I've just seen Kirsty Therapies in the house, so that's just reminded me. I haven't put it out yet, but Kirsty and myself are actually going to be doing, we were supposed to be starting a level 3 sports therapy course in May, which students had booked on for, but of course because of this we can't do face-to-face. But we've got together with the Sussex School of Natural Therapies, and we're doing an online version. We're going to get all the anatomy and physiology and the other assignments out of the way first of all, so that when this thing does come to a close, hopefully sooner rather than later, we can sort out the actual massage side of things and the treatment side of things, and the assessments on the actual consultation and everything, and the analysis and all of that. We can do that afterwards when we are able to do it. That's it. I'm off back home. It's late. I'm hungry, and I've just had a great run, and I'm going to write it down as a great run, even though it wasn't what I thought I was going to be able to do. That's it, guys. Take care, and I'll see you, if not tomorrow, the day after. See you soon. Bye bye.